My name is Masood Hussain, 34 years of age. I've pretty much been living in Stoke most of my life, and ever since I was a little kid, one thing I've always wanted to do was get into the games industry and do something along those lines, really. So I started off drawing, things like that, went into a little bit of modding, but I didn't really delve too much into it. So when I came to Staffordshire Uni, it was just an eye-opening experience, really. So I'm not sure if you know of the concept, but we're basically doing like a horror type theme and incorporating a lot of really cool stuff. Essentially parts where you're walking around with a camera and you're taking pictures of various different parts of the environment, but when you look at it without the camera, you're not really seeing anything. But when you look at it with the camera, you're getting some really cool puzzles and horror effects. Well, I'd say it's very welcoming. Everybody's like really friendly and very bubbly, that kind of stuff. I haven't heard a single person moan, mate, at all. Which is always a great thing to come into because everybody's really enthusiastic. Yeah, they may sort of, I don't know, they may need a bit of a breather, coming up for air kind of a thing, because you can't just pile the full 48 hours into it, otherwise you're going to keel over, basically. It is my first Games Jam, so I've not really been to any others. I was a bit dubious about coming because at first I thought maybe I haven't got that much to bring to it, but then I remembered what lecturers were saying. Don't worry about it, just come along and you're going to pick up some cool stuff, and that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. Team it consists of, it's called Banana Soft, which I love the name. And it consists of me and Tom Wally, basically, so it's just us two, army of two as it were, and he's doing a lot of the basics and he will be doing a lot of the coding. I'm working on more of the sort of level design and the art and the general layout of things, and then we're going to bash our heads together even further to come up with some really cool puzzles. Going to try and get some physics puzzles in there, a couple of trapdoors, that kind of stuff, but I think the best part about it is we're modelling it from the environment that we're sitting in right now. It's going to be based on everything that you're looking at. We're going to make it as realistic as possible, texture-wise, that kind of stuff. It's going to look mint. As well as we're adding a lot of really cool sounds into it. So you're going to have water effects, you're going to have camera clicks, ambient sounds, and then we might get in a bit of trouble for this next one, but when you first start the scene, I immediately thought of Far Cry 4, where he steps off the helicopter and he's like, shall you stay or shall you go? And then the game is essentially going to start from that point. It is a lot of work. Well, considering that we've pretty much done this entire environment, I'm just working on modelling the PC and the monitors now. We also got a lot of assets and a lot of textures that we can essentially reuse. So the way that Tom's shown me to do things is a very quick way of doing things, shall we say. We'll get a rapid prototype out there. It's just a matter of rearranging sort of various different bits of furniture, really and truly. So I think it's going to be doable. It might come to a bit of a push come towards the end, but we're getting a lot of the mechanics nailed down now. So the only thing that might be a little bit tricky is some of the puzzles, but because I've already done some physics puzzles already, I can pretty much use the same code that I used before and get the same things across. So it's a matter of resources, really. I'm beginning to understand the general workflow process. I have done quite a bit of research on the way things are done in industry today and the best processes to do that. But I would say that all my experience is pretty much what I've learned at the university. So I did the foundation year, which was fantastic. It gave me a broad scope of skills, really and truly. And then coming into the first year, I was basically able to apply a lot of the stuff I learned in the foundation year to this first year. So in terms of animation, modelling, and then, to my surprise, game engines. And I'm loving the game engines aspect of it because it's very hands-on and it's a very quick way of getting a level built without too much hassle. So you can do a really quick prototype and then you can just add on top of that. And then learning to code along those lines as well, it's just been amazing. Something I thought I could never do, and I'm doing it. So I'm loving it, basically.